Hey everybody, Dr. Badayan here, and if you're traveling this weekend and you have low back pain, do not travel without hearing these 5 simple tips to keep you traveling safely and healthy on your vacation, right? So let's talk about a couple of different things that you can do. Number one is realize that 80% of the population suffers from back pain at one point or time in another. It eventually becomes chronic conditions if we don't get it taken care of over a long enough time. It's the leading cause of disability worldwide. It also is the leading cause of things like not being able to work, also because of the fact of not having family time and quality of life. So think about that within itself. You're not able to go to work and provide for your family or provide for yourself. You're not able to have the quality of life that you want to have because of the fact that low back pain's there. You're not able to go out there and throw the ball with your kids or ride around with them on their bikes or do whatever it is. Just being able to sit and watch them perform their sports or activities or whatever it is, or even getting on the floor and playing dolls, whatever it happens to be, because of low back pain. The thing to realize is that you're not alone in that. And these are 5 simple tips that you can do when traveling this weekend, because this weekend is the holiday weekend and I want to make sure that you're doing it as safely and healthy as possible for you. So let's go over some simple tips that you can do. Number one is support, right? Is that if you're traveling, whether or not you're traveling on a plane, train, automobile, whatever it happens to be, a really simple thing if you're traveling on a plane, just use one of these guys, right? It's just a neck pillow. Put it around your neck, and that way, if you've got neck pain, it'll help support what's happening there in the neck and upper back too. So when you're sleeping or you fall asleep, whatever it happens to be, you can use this guy. Another really, really simple one is a towel. Just take one of these simple little hand towels, and what you'll want to do is you'll just want to roll it up. And whether or not you're in a car that doesn't have the best back support, lumbar support, you can take it and roll it like this, right? Put it in the small of your back and sit on it that way. That'll help arch your back just enough to give it enough support rather than rounding out. Same thing as if on your plane. If you're on a plane and you're traveling and you have one of these simple little towels like this, you can use that in the same way. Seats are designed in planes to roll us in, to make sure that they can squeeze more of us in, right? And so whenever they do that, they're rounding us out, and that puts stress and strain on your low back and on your lumbar spine. Another very simple thing is watching your posture, because whenever we're traveling, we're usually hunched over either on our phones or because the seats are designed that way. Watch your posture. Bring your shoulders back and your chest up. That's going to take pressure off your low back. If you think about this, just take your thumbs, stick them in your low back, and when you're rounded out, do you feel how your low back gets more engaged than if you're sitting up tall and you're feeling those muscles there in your low back, in the low part of your spine, right where about your belt line is? You should feel those muscles start to relax when you're in better posture. So watch your posture while you're traveling too. Another really simple one is ice, right? Use ice packs. This is something that you can have a cooler with, and you can stick this in the car in a cooler in there. Very, very simple thing to do. Another thing would be, if you don't have access to that because you're on a plane, Ziploc baggies, right? Like just a Ziploc bag. You can use these guys. Ask the flight attendant to help you out. Just put some ice in there, and then you can put it on the areas that are inflamed in your low back, neck, spine, wherever it happens to be, in the muscles around that too. A really simple thing to think about is that I like to tell my patients that whenever they're using anything like ice, is to make sure that they have a towel between the skin and the ice, right? So that the ice isn't directly applied to the skin. And then also 20 minutes of ice with a towel between the skin and the ice is the simple rule to have there. No more than 20 minutes, because it can start to irritate the skin and cause damage there as well. And just gets to be a bit more uncomfortable than we want it to be. The other thing is get up and move. So if you're traveling in a car, make more frequent stops. Make sure that you take a moment to stop and stretch. When you stretch, you want to try to stretch those hamstrings. A great way to do that is to bend forward and stretch those hamstrings out, as long as that's healthy enough for your low back and spine. The other thing is that whenever you're doing that, lead with your chest, not with your chin. Okay? When you lead with your chin, what you do is you round out your back, as opposed to if you lead with your chest, you're going to lead with your chest, and that's going to then stretch out those hamstrings much more, right? So the other thing to think about is that lifting, right? A big thing that we see is that whenever people are lifting items, that I tell them, I say, well, let me see how you lift that. And whenever they go to lift, they say, I know I'm supposed to lift with my legs. And so they squat down and then they bend forward. And when they bend forward, they put all the strain on their low back. Instead, what I want you to do is, whether or not you're lifting bags, babies, or barbells, right? Bags, babies, barbells. Always pull it close to you and then lift up. So squat down all the way, pull whatever it is close, and then lift straight up with it, right? So we've got these bags, and those guys, whether or not we're putting them in the back of the car or we're putting them up over the area where the plane is. You know what I'm talking about. You stick them up there in the above head area, the overhead spot. Those areas can really put a lot of strain on your low back. So make sure that you're following these tips, right? If you start to notice that you're following these tips and you're not seeing the results that you want, especially when traveling this holiday weekend, make sure that you get in touch with us. We're here in St. Louis, right? We're a chiropractor here in St. Louis. I like to help people. We help a lot of our patients. These are tips that I give my own patients right here at our St. Louis office. And I want to make sure that when you're traveling this holiday weekend for Memorial Day as well, that you get the most out of it so that you can enjoy your time. But if for any reason you need us to help you, we would love to be able to help you. Just call the number that's written here below. We'd love to be able to help you in any way that we can so that you can get back to enjoying your life, get back to spending time with your family, get back to being able to work the way that you want to, being back to being able to do the things that you love to do and want to do and need to do as well. Because we find that there's a lot of people that are just needlessly suffering. And I want to make sure that you're not one of those people. I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of it and that you're able to enjoy this summer that we're coming up to, right? We've got beautiful weather that's here in St. Louis right now. I want to make sure that you get the best chance that you possibly can to enjoy your time. Again, I'm Dr. Vadan. Let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you.